Stalking a monster bull. Monster bull. Look at that whitetail.
He's right there. Why can't we see him? In the first spot that we just heard, and they're just going at her together, so we're gonna try to sneak in on one of them. This has been an absolutely insane morning. I can't believe how many stags we've heard. I'm bow hunting, and I shot at that really beautiful white stag, and we reviewed the footage, and I actually would have hit him if he wouldn't have ducked the string so hard. And yeah, after reviewing the footage, it looks like I would have probably got a pretty good shot if he wouldn't have ducked, but that's just the way bow hunting goes, and I'm used to that. But with a rifle, I actually would have probably shot, I could have shot like 4 stags. It was just going nuts in here. This is probably the best morning of hunting we've ever experienced, even if we take into consideration all of our craziest mornings of elk hunting. There was stags in every direction, and we would get on one, and then there'd be another one over the hill beside us and one behind us, and they were just everywhere, and it was going nuts in here. It was crazy, and I didn't even know which one to go after, and it really excites me because we have a full week here, because this was actually only our first morning at this new property. And Dwayne, who we're with here with Wild Safaris, he told us that this property was way better than the one we were at before, and he definitely was not joking, because this morning was nuts. Yeah, this was just crazy. I can't believe how many stags. It makes me want to, we'll probably end up coming back to Australia just after experiencing this, because this is nuts. We've never experienced something like this. The way these animals croak, it's just like a grunt. It reminds me of like elk hunting back at home. And I don't know, it's really hard to explain. You have to be here in the moment to really, really experience it, but we'll try our best to share it with you guys. Jason just dropped us off, and we've walked 50 yards, and they are absolutely losing their minds just behind us. You can likely hear them. There's for sure 3, maybe 4 this way, and a couple out that way, so we're not going to waste that much time. As soon as we get light, we're going to slowly work our way in, see if we can get a shot at one of these guys. We've had so many opportunities. We've come this close, and eventually we just have to catch a break and get lucky. It's like chasing 100 different herd bull elk around the mountain back home. So they won't come to you. You have to get in and sneak in on them. And with that many eyes and ears and noses, it can be tough, but tell you what, it's been a heck of a lot of fun.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Wood Wheaton Super Center, Black Widow Innovations, the MD of Bonnyville, Weatherby, Glendale Targets, Deluxe Wall Tents, and Wapiti River Outdoors.
We finally managed to work in tight on one of the herd bucks that we had been chasing all morning. He was held up tight with his does for several hours, bedding down a few times for a rest. We couldn't get any closer, so we had no choice but to set up and wait on the outskirts of the herd. We only had a few small shooting lanes, and we waited patiently for him to step into one. We were set up on the edge of a small clearing, and a few other deer had worked their way past us perfectly. But as luck would have it, when he finally decided to head up the hill for the afternoon, he managed to skirt the edges of the thick brush and never gave us any kind of opportunity. With the morning hunt quickly coming to a close, we decided to pivot and quickly work down the hill after the other croaking buck in the distance. As we crested the hill and came to the edge of the ravine, I couldn't believe it when I looked up and saw him heading our way.
Hey.
I don't even know, I'm not sure if we've ever worked quite as hard to try and get in on an animal as we have this week here in Australia with wild safaris. And we've had so many chances. And as a bow hunter, it's a paradise. And when things go good, they're great. But when things go bad, it's really bad. And for us, most of this trip, we've had our chances and it's been on us. And I mean, I don't even know how to explain, but that stag walked in right towards us down on the bottom, steep angling down shot at what I guessed to be 30 yards, through some brush. I was trying to push it through, I had no choice. And I've shot thousands and thousands of arrows over the last 10, 15 years. You know where your pin is when you shoot and where the arrow should go. And these last two shots that I fired immediately upon release have not gone where my pin was, so I'm gonna have to try and take some shots at camp. And see, I'm not saying it's not me, but 2 times now, it did not do what it was supposed to do. And I don't have any excuse for it. I should have 3 beautiful stags on the ground with a bow and arrow, and instead we've got 3 days left to hunt and we still don't have one. I don't want to bust out the rifle, but I also don't want to go home empty-handed more than that. It's frustrating because the more that I miss and the more I screw up, the more I don't want to put the bow down. I hate losing more than I like winning.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Scree Gear, Top-Notch Taxidermy Studio, Onyx Hunt, Covert Scouting Cameras, Mad Ramps, Federal Premium Ammunition, and High Mountain Seasonings.
As badly as we wanted to stick it out with the bows, we eventually had to accept the fact that we were given our opportunities and we didn't do our part to make it happen. We had nobody to blame but ourselves. In the end, we were there to film a show, and we may never get another chance to experience the backcountry of Australia like this again. It was a tough decision, but for our last remaining hunt in Australia, we decided to put down our bows and pick up a rifle, in hopes of salvaging our trip.
We just spotted a big stag that come out of the trees way down in the valley, kind of in like a meadow. We were way up the hill though, so we just got down to the bottom. We're gonna try to go find him here. Over this hill? Okay, let's go.
Whenever you're ready.
Just wait till he stops. You down?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Finally! We have been here for like more than a week and we've been bow hunting, but we just haven't been able to close the distance.
Just wait.
Good.
Alright.
Is he down?
Yeah, he's down.
Tina! Is that our first doubleheader we've ever had together?
That's our first doubleheader we've ever had, and we are literally down to like the minute of legal light. He is down there, Darcy's is down here, and I don't know how we're gonna find these things in the dark, but we got them. We can try and drag those together.
We have to.
Those are two good stags too. This is the one that was croaking. Darcy shot hers and he poked out and we ran down the hill, put a stalk on him, and I pounded him, and we just killed two stags in like 6 minutes, and that just made our trip, Darcy.
This segment of Fatal Impact is brought to you by Tourism Saskatchewan. Experience the beauty of Saskatchewan for yourself.
Wow, they look so much like bigger bodied and everything on hoof, hey? It's crazy. I can't believe we finally have some on the ground. This has been so stressful. This is honestly a dream come true to finally have this deer on the ground. We flew halfway across the world for this animal exactly. He has a beautiful hide on him. The dark brown with the spots, like absolutely gorgeous. And these beautiful antlers, like, look at this. Dwayne has been awesome, and we have been on an unbelievable amount of animals. There is no shortage here. He's been putting us on deer every single day. We have seen so many, we've been able to put on so many stalks, and we've been having an absolute blast here in Australia. And honestly, we will be coming back because hunting these deer, it's hard to explain, but we love hunting our mule deer and elk at home, and to me, it's like the perfect mix between those two. The stalking, the calling, the way they croak in the hills is absolutely crazy. And there's so many of them, so normally you would come into a valley and they're croaking all around you. That's what we've been experiencing this week. But of all nights, tonight we come down here and we haven't heard a croak all night until Dana's literally just croaked right around when I shot him. So it was all meant to be because it finally come together after a long week of hunting these guys. And for me and Dana to share a double header tonight, like that is awesome. All these years that Dana and I have hunted together, we have never had that yet. So to experience that together in Australia is really special, and I can't wait to get these guys together, and we'll definitely be taking pictures together with these beautiful deer.
And look at that palm. Heavy around the bases, a little bit weaker on this side, but a crazy cool hook. He's got trees in there, and that is exactly what I thought they would look like when I finally got up close to one. I'll be honest, this past week hasn't been our best performance. We've had so many opportunities and we've stuck to our guns with the bow. And we have both launched arrows over the back of some giant, beautiful fallow bucks. And we're getting close to the end of the trip, and I didn't know what we should do, but Darcy and I made the decision tonight to try and take out the rifle because the evening hunts have been a little bit slower. And we took it out tonight, and just like that, 2 deer on the ground. So, and hike through these hills in some treacherous terrain. We've been putting on so many miles and chasing deer after deer after deer. And the best way I can describe it to anybody out there sitting back home in Canada is to take your best morning of elk hunting that you've ever had in your life and times it by at least 4.
Our trip to Australia will forever go down as one of the greatest hunting experiences we've ever been fortunate enough to share. We were presented with so many opportunities at truly wild, free-range fallow deer, and although we didn't capitalize on all of them, we truly had the time of our lives. Trips like these don't come together easily, and they simply wouldn't be possible without the help of good people like our friends Vernon Cogswell and Jesse Lee Hovey. They graciously welcomed us into their home and showed us the finest parts of what Australia has to offer. Finally, a sincere thank you goes out to Dwayne Taylor and Jason Temple of Wild Safaris. Thank you for allowing us to join you in camp and for all of your hard work along the way. Australia was everything we could have ever hoped for, and we look forward to the day when we can once again explore the backcountry in search of a little redemption.